The rain poured heavily as Ethan, a weary single father, trudged down the street after another exhausting shift at the factory. The day had left him drained, but the thought of seeing his young daughter Lily and sharing a simple dinner kept him going. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed, but Ethan had learned to survive on grit, love, and a relentless sense of duty. As he walked, boots splashing through puddles, he spotted something that made him stop in his tracks: a woman, soaked from head to toe, slumped against a lamppost. Her nurse's uniform clung to her body, her face hidden in her hands as the rain and her tears became one. In a world that rarely slowed down for anyone, Ethan's instinct wasn't to walk past but to care. The sight of the woman, so visibly broken, standing helpless in the downpour, tugged at something deep within him. He didn't know who she was or why she was crying, but he recognized the weight of silent suffering. He had carried that same weight himself once, not long ago. That moment, simple and fleeting as it seemed, was the start of something profound. Ethan believed that the smallest acts, pausing, noticing, helping, could create ripples of change. And though he didn't yet know her story, or how their lives might intertwine, he took a step toward her. Because sometimes, when the world feels cold and indifferent, one person choosing kindness can make all the difference. Ethan stepped forward, letting the rain soak his already damp jacket as he approached the woman. His voice, calm but concerned, cut through the steady rhythm of the downpour. "Hey, are you all right?" She slowly lifted her face, revealing eyes swollen from crying, eyes that carried the kind of pain only life's hardest moments can bring. I don't know," she replied, her voice trembling. "I lost my job today. I've got nowhere to go. I think I've lost everything." Her words hung heavy in the air, carried by the rain and desperation. Ethan felt something shift inside him. He had been there, staring at the edge, unsure of the next step, unsure if there was a next step. He remembered nights he spent praying that Lily wouldn't feel the absence he felt inside. Now, looking at this stranger in the storm, her pain mirrored something familiar. He didn't hesitate. "I'm Ethan," he said gently, offering the warmth of a kind smile through the cold. "And you're not alone. What's your name?" The woman hesitated, caught off guard by the unexpected kindness. Her lip quivered, and for a moment, it looked like she might break down again. But instead, she softly answered, "Sarah." In that simple exchange, two names offered in the rain, a fragile but real connection was born. Neither knew what would come next, but for the first time in a long time, Sarah wasn't invisible. Someone saw her. And that was the beginning. Sarah stood frozen for a moment, the rain still soaking her, uncertainty written across her face. Her lips trembled as she whispered her name, Sarah. The vulnerability in her voice wasn't just from being cold, it was from holding in too much for too long. Ethan recognized it instantly. It was the same hollow exhaustion he'd once seen in his own mirror, back when grief and responsibility had nearly swallowed him whole. She looked like someone who had fought battles no one noticed, given her all, and was left with nothing but a thin thread of hope she couldn't even see anymore. "Well, Sarah," Ethan said gently, "I know it's not much, but let me give you a ride somewhere warm. We can figure it out, even if just for tonight." Sarah immediately shook her head, instinctively pulling away. "I don't want to be a burden. You don't even know me." But Ethan didn't waver. His voice softened, not with pity, but with quiet conviction. "Sometimes, helping isn't about knowing. It's just about showing up. Most people don't have anyone who does." That line struck something deep inside Sarah. Her defenses slowly cracked, not because Ethan forced them to, but because his words felt true. And for the first time in what felt like forever, she let herself lean, just a little. She gave a quiet nod. She didn't have the strength to hope, not yet, but maybe, just maybe, she could borrow some from someone who still believed in it. The car's heater hummed softly, a welcome contrast to the cold, wet world outside. As they drove, Ethan filled the silence with small stories, ones that painted pictures of bubble baths turned prehistoric swamps, and bedtime arguments over which dinosaur was the strongest. Sarah listened, her head turned slightly toward the window, but her eyes fixed on him. Each word, each laugh he shared about Lily, chipped away at the weight she carried. Slowly, the tears stopped. Her lips curled into a tired but genuine smile, the first in days. "I can't believe you do this for me," she murmured, still hugging herself. "I don't even know how to thank you." Ethan glanced at her, his voice steady but kind. "Don't worry about it. Sometimes, the world doesn't make sense, but little things, like kindness, make it a bit brighter." They reached her apartment complex, its paint peeling, windows dim. It looked like a place forgotten by the world. Sarah hesitated, her hand on the door, reluctant to leave the small, unexpected warmth she'd found beside this stranger. Ethan noticed. He didn't push. Instead, he offered one last thread of comfort. "If you need anything, anything at all, just let me know. I mean it." For a moment, Sarah said nothing. Then she looked at him, eyes filled not with tears this time, but something quieter, trust. She stepped out into the night, the rain now only a drizzle, and for the first time in a long while, she didn't feel completely alone. A week had quietly passed, full of the usual rhythms for Ethan. Early mornings, lunchbox packing, bedtime stories, and the beautiful chaos of raising Lily. Life hadn't gotten easier, but it was familiar, and filled with purpose. He hadn't expected to see Sarah again, but as he walked Lily to daycare under a brightening sky, there she was, standing tall by the entrance, dressed in clean scrubs, eyes shining with something new, hope. "Ethan," she called out, her voice carrying warmth instead of weariness. "I got a new job. At a clinic nearby. It's not perfect, but it's a start." Ethan's face lit up with genuine joy. "That's amazing, Sarah. I'm really proud of you." Her smile deepened, no longer shadowed by fear or uncertainty. "I just wanted to thank you. That night, you didn't just give me a ride. You gave me something I thought I'd lost forever, hope. I didn't believe in second chances until you showed up." Ethan stood quietly for a moment, taking it in. As Sarah waved and walked off, her step steady and full of purpose, he felt a quiet shift inside. He hadn't done much, just stopped, listened, offered a little help. But maybe that was everything. The clouds overhead parted slightly, and a soft rainbow arched across the sky. Ethan glanced up, smiling. It was a small reminder, even after the harshest storms, light finds a way through. And sometimes, all it takes is one person choosing to care.